Two outstanding teams in 5A District 4 on a collision course tonight at Carencro Golden Bear Stadium. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Roebuck along with Les Luquette. Tonight, once again, the best of Acadiana High School football. The Carencro Golden Bears hosting the Acadiana Wrecking Rams. Both teams with outstanding records, outstanding coaches, and outstanding athletes. The Acadiana Wrecking Rams, of course, 6-1 on the year, 2-0 in District 4 5A, as are the Golden Bears, 6-1 and 2-0 in District 4 5A. Les, this game, of course, highlights some premier athletes, both teams well coached. Bill Dotson in his 20th year at Acadiana High School. And there you get a look at the matchups. This one could be for all the marbles, as the winner tonight really gets a tremendous advantage in District 4 5A.
Yeah, Mike, I think tonight is really going to decide who comes out on top of the district and who gets the best playoff spot going into the playoffs. I think it's a pretty evenly matched team. It may come down to the kicking game at the end. Two highly powered defenses, and I'm looking forward to an exciting game.
Both these teams with just one blemish each on their record. As you may recall, we broadcasted when Carencro hosted Catholic of Baton Rouge. That's their only loss in that one, only by about 10 points that night. Acadiana has had one blowout, 50-3 to the Crowley Gents. We'll be back with more in just a second for tonight's kickoff of the Acadiana High versus Carencro. Live at Carencro Golden Bears Stadium, where the captains are conferring with tonight's referee crew, going over the ground rules, any rules changes that may have occurred between now and last week. We're just moments away from the toss and find out who's going to receive the football. Les, the last time we saw the Golden Bears was against Catholic High of Baton Rouge, and really a very even contest until about the fourth quarter, and two big plays broke it open for Catholic to hand the only loss of the season to the Golden Bears. Yeah,
Mike, in my opinion, I think Carencro had a better team than Catholic High of Baton Rouge. I think it was just a matter of them running out of gas at the end. I think it would definitely be a different story if they were to meet into the playoffs. I think Carencro has a very strong team. They have lots of good running backs. Falk's come a long way. He's starting to get a little bit more experience. And I'm looking forward to Carencro and Acadiana matching up pretty well tonight.
Should be a dynamic contest. The defenses could dictate the tempo of this game tonight. Both teams have outstanding defense. Carencro's defense has only given up 54 points on the year. That's less than 8 points per game, and holding opponents to less than 100 yards rushing. Meanwhile, the Acadiana defense has had just about as much success, while they did have the 50-3 blowout to Carencro. They throw that out, and they're under 8 points a game also being allowed.
Yeah, Acadiana got blown out by Crowley early in the season, 50-3, in which it must have been just a total breakdown by the coaching staff and the players.
Let's join them for the invocation.
It has a divine influence on our hearts. Let us offer ourselves to you this evening in prayer.
And the national anthem is performed by the Carencro Golden Bear Marching Band. Golden Bears will wear the dark blue jerseys with the gold trousers. The Acadiana Wrecking Rams visitors, white uniforms, green trim, and of course the gold helmets. Just moments away from kickoff, the District 4 5A matchup live on K62. And Les, this one really is going to show us a lot of dynamic running backs tonight. We talk about, of course, everybody knows about Derek Beavers and Ernest Lazard. Lazard, the big fullback for Carencro, nearly 6 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns on the year. And Derek Beavers, 7 yards a carry and 5 touchdowns on the year. And that quarterback, Kevin Falk, is really coming on. He's up to nearly 9 yards a carry and 7 touchdowns of his own on the ground.
Yeah, Carencro has really started to come around offensively, and that's all because of Kevin Falk's experience. As the year goes on, he gets better and better at making smarter decisions. But Acadiana is the offensive power here. They're ranked 8th right now in the Acadiana area, and they have rushed for over 2,000 yards, passed for about 200, and have a total of about 2,200 yards. So it's going to be a well-matched game here tonight, Mike.
Carencro won the toss and elected to receive. Set deep to receive the football at his own 5-yard line is Derek Beavers. Just in front of him, Ernest Lazard and Charlie Sam. Kick is underway, and it's a good one. High and deep at the 5, where Beavers will take it. And a reverse right off the bat. The handoff to Chad Arnold. He's got a wall. One man to beat. Chad Arnold all the way down to the 35-yard line of Acadiana. How do you like that? A trick play right off the opening kickoff.
That's a great way to open the game up for Carencro High School. Acadiana came out very aggressive, getting down the field real quick, and they just weren't looking for the reverse.
Well, I tell you, Arnold had a great wall, and only the kicker. Give a lot of credit to Acadiana's kicker, 35, Brandon Dubio. And he was the only man who could have stopped him and actually clogged up the blocking. We'll get another look on replay here. Beautifully timed play.
He receives the ball here and hands it off to Arnold, who sets up the wall. You can pick out our cameraman here, Mike, or the camerawoman. He's got 3 blockers in front of him, and not one of them sees the kicker who's over here setting up behind the wall. They finally get him down at about the 35-yard line. Looks like we had a clip on the play.
There was indeed a clip on the play, so rather than 1st and 10 at the Acadiana 35, Carencro will take it 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Just underway, no score, first quarter live at Carencro Golden Bear Stadium. And now the fake reverse as Charlie Sam will tuck it, has room to run on the sideline. Charlie Sam is finally bounced out of bounds at the 26-yard line, unless the Golden Bears have opened full throttle tonight.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's Kevin Falk. Faked me out there. Falk, normally the quarterback, came from the flanker position. You get a look at the Carencro starting lineup. Cormier, Longlanet, Roger, Lapierre, Babineau, and Leger, the tight end.
Looks like Carencro's coming out with their bag of tricks early, Mike. We have a big penalty on the play.
Falk listed at quarterback, Beavers, Lazard, Comeaux, and Arno. Falk had lined up at the flanker spot.
Went motion at the
So they threw me off there.
I thought he lined up in the eye at the running back position. And they threw in the reverse.
Well, Chad Arnold, here's another look.
Replay. They faked the reverse to Beavers, and there goes Falk.
Well, we see why he was sprung. There was a flag on the play.
What was the penalty, did you see?
It looked like an illegal chop block or a clip outside the clipping zone. But 1st and 15, they'll try it again. This time, Falk is at quarterback. Ernest Lazard, the fullback. Derek Beavers, the tailback. The pitch back for Beavers. Off the right side, cuts it back, and he'll pick up 7 yards on the carry.
Beavers does a good job of cutting back and following his blockers.
The Acadiana defense anchored by Sims, Simon, Lawrence, Kless, Mayo, and Perkins in the front line. And in the secondary, Chevalier, Sellers, Falk, Little, and Green. Well, Beavers makes up 7 yards of the penalty. 2nd down and 8 with the ball just across the midfield stripe. Carencro is opened with 2 trick plays. Now back to power football. Comeaux in motion to the far side of the field. The give, no, Falk will pull it out and keep it, and he's caught from behind. The pursuit, number 91, is not listed in our program.
maybe Coach Baru saw that in the films that the defensive ends aren't containing well and going down the line of scrimmage, and that's why he may have opened up with the reverse to try and keep those guys honest.
Well, Chad Clues, we're now told, is number 91. He's listed as number 90 in our program, but he's a big tight end, 6'2", defensive end and tight end, 6'2", 212-pounder with a tackle of Kevin Falk. 3rd and long, possible passing situation, 3rd and 9 from the midfield stripe. Chad Comeaux in motion to the near side. Quick pitch for Beavers. The ball is loose, picks up his own fumble, now has running room, and Beavers is going to be very near the first down. Looks like Beavers might be just short of that first down marker. There you see the numbers on Derek Beavers this year. 64 rushes, 445 yards, nearly 7 yards a carry.
So it'll be about a 58-yarder from here, Mike.
Well, they do have a dynamic kicker. You're referring to Wade Ritchie, of course, who kicked a 52-yard field goal for Carencro last week. And on 4th and 1, Mag Barus has decided to go for it early.
May try and get him to jump off sides. That was
well, there was motion, but not enough motion. Now the pitch back for Beavers, and he'll pick up the first down for Carencro. Well, it was just more of a little bit of a flinch there. The referees, of course, right on the line of sight. A very experienced crew tonight. Had a little conversation with them before. A very loose, very well-oiled machine. These guys have worked together a lot before, and I expect a well-called ball game tonight. Beavers did indeed pick up the first down, although they're going to come out for the formality of a measurement. If you've just joined us, we're just underway. 9:13 to go in the first quarter. No score. A District 4 5A classification matchup by the length of the football. So closer than it appeared from up here, Les.
Yeah.
Looked like Beavers had the first down with plenty to spare.
Looked like the first down marker was on the lined up on about the 41-yard line, and I thought he had gotten over the 41-yard line. It was just a mark by the referee, but still has the first down.
Carencro keeps their drive alive, and back to the I formation. Once again, Comeaux in motion to the near side. Falk keeps it, slips, loss of 3 on the play. Kevin Falk simply couldn't get started out from under the center.
Falk did a good job at first of pulling the ball on the read here on the veer, and he just slipped trying to get outside.
One difference that some of our fans may notice here, if you remember the Carencro Catholic High game, Carencro went to the no-huddle offense almost the entire game, and they huddled between every play. So a little bit of a change of strategy perhaps by Mag Barus, as his team has taken the full 30 seconds allotted between plays. 2nd down, 14 from the Acadiana 45. Beavers in motion as they break the tail, but they break the eye back. They give it to Lazard up the middle, and Ernest Lazard has running room and more as he'll pick up 13 yards on the play, just short of the first down.
Carencro's offensive line does a good job opening up a hole on this play for the running back. Lazard sees the hole open and he just sprints through it. He's got great speed. I think he's the slowest one. He runs a 4.5.
A lot of speed out of that backfield. Lazard, of course, 6'2", 225. And you saw the numbers on him, nearly 6 yards a carry and 9 touchdowns already on the season. He was hampered by injury early in the season, did not see much action the first 2 games, so he has really come on like gangbusters.
He's a big animal coming out of that backfield.
Carencro shows a passing formation. The give is to Lazard off left tackle. He's got the first down with plenty of room to spare.
Good job by Lazard of putting his head down and getting an extra 3 or 4 yards. That's something you can't coach, Mike. That just comes with your heart.
Well, I said Lazard was 6'2". He's actually, now that we look at the program, 6 foot 225 pounds. Terrific size for a fullback. And Acadiana is going to call a timeout to talk it over. They want to regroup. While there's a timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout. Our score, Acadiana 0, Carencro nothing. Still in the first quarter, 7:16 remains. Carencro on their initial possession of the night from their own 49-yard line. Still on the drive with the ball spotted at the let's call it the 27-yard line for the Golden Bears. 1st and 10, unless it's been power football for the Golden Bears. Ernest Lazard left and Ernest Lazard right. They opened with 2 trick plays, tried to catch Acadiana off guard, but then have settled down into the power game. Falk just gets his pitch away, and Beavers trips as he tries to cut back behind Chad Arno. Beavers had a lot of running room. He could have made the corner.
Yeah, it looked like a little counter option here, Mikey. He fakes the ball to the left for the fullback running up the 1 hole to the left. Odds are usually to the left, evens to the right. Fakes it up the 1 hole to the left and then spins out and tries the option back to the right side. This is what he tries to do. He tries to get the right side linebacker to go towards the fullback, and that allows the running back to come back towards this side wide open. He just slipped on the play.
No gain on the play for Beavers. 2nd and 10. The ball still at the 27-yard line. Now Beavers in motion. Quick hitch intended for Beavers. Falk's pass too low and behind. Incomplete. To bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Bears.
Good job by the defensive back, Preston Charles. He reacted on the ball. He saw Falk drop his 3-step drop and then release the ball. And as soon as he hit that 3rd step, is he the strong safety or the free?
Falk gives to Lazard, off right tackle. Lazard all the way down to the 1-yard line. And he is just too much for that Acadiana front line to stop.
It's hard to stop Lazard once he sees that end zone. He just puts his head down and goes full speed. Takes 4 or 5 guys to tackle him. That's going to open things up for Beavers and Falk on the option play.
Well, Ernest Lazard with 567 yards rushing on the year and 9 touchdowns, a 5.6 yard per carry average, and there you see why. 1st and goal for the Golden Bears with the ball at the 1-yard line. Lazard the single setback. Comeaux in motion to the left side. Falk to give straight ahead to Lazard, and he is going to be bounced back. Terrific play by the linebacking crew. Number 23, Cy Green, the defensive end, led the charge as Ernest Lazard appeared like he had clear sailing to the end zone, and Green closed the gap and laid a lick on him.
That was a big hit by Green here. Little handoff play right up the middle. Here comes Green. 23 is about 5'8", 156.
54, Casey Perkins there to help out also.
Yeah, he needed that extra help from Perkins. 5'10", 195. All right. Lazard, the big moose that he is, probably would have gotten the end zone.
Well, he'll probably get another try as Carencro now goes to a wishbone type formation. 2nd and goal. The give is to Lazard. Up and over. Did he get in? No indication from the referees. It appears that Ernest Lazard will be just short on the dive play. So a nice goal line stand that Acadiana is putting together here.
Here's a replay. A little power play to the left side. Does a good job of getting in the air, but he just doesn't get in quite in for the score.
3rd and goal. The give. Off tackle and 28 into the game. Brian Hamilton. Listed as a defensive end in our playbook. And Hamilton goes in for the score. And Carencro draws first blood here with 3:14 to go in the 1st quarter. A nice long drive, all of it on the ground for the Golden Bears. And now Wade Ritchie, the kicker, on for Carencro, and he is just about Mr. Automatic for the Golden Bears. The hold is good, the kick is up, and good. We'll be back at Carencro Golden Bear Stadium with our score, Carencro 7, Acadiana nothing. Deep at their own 3-yard line is Brian Francis and John George to receive for Acadiana.
Look for this to go out of the end zone.
Ritchie with lots of leg, high and deep, and it bounces on the back end line. And there you see why Wade Ritchie gets all the press clippings.
This has got to be one of the strongest leg kickers I've ever seen.
That scoring drive for Carencro, 14 plays, 51 yards, 8 minutes, 46 seconds. Hamilton with the 1-yard touchdown run to finish it off. And if you've just joined us, 3:14 to go in the game, and Carencro has not allowed Acadiana to touch the football yet.
Looks like we have a penalty on the play. Maybe offsides.
With the reaction of Acadiana, of course, tell you what, Wade Ritchie with that leg may kick it out again. Offsides is the call.
I don't know why you would want to be offsides with a leg like Ritchie has.
You almost don't even have to send a kick recover team.
I mean, they shouldn't even have to put him out there.
He is dynamic, and it's hard to believe at 6'2", 180, just a junior.
If he keeps up this kind of kicking and stays with it, he's going to be able to pick his college to wherever he wants to go. He's got a 4.0 grade point average. Scouts are going to, all over the nation, going to jump on that.
Well, once again, Ritchie will boot it away, and this time high and hanging, taken at the 12 by John George. George looks for running room to the far side, can't make the corner, and will be hauled down at the 20. So the net effect is the same on a kick out by Ritchie, would have been a touchback to the 20. There you look at the Acadiana offense as they take the field for the first time. Cosper, Cormier, Seau, Robichaud, Johnson, and Barrington, the tight end, who has 4 touchdowns in the last 4 games. The quarterback will be Andy Stelly. His halfbacks are Stutz and Prudhomme. The flanker is Terrence Blackwell, who also plays defense, and Curtis Graves, the split end. Well, Les, that's got to be discouraging to the other side for Bill Dotson. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and your team's just now getting in football for the first time.
Well, I don't think Dotson is that worried, Mike. He has a great offensive team here. I look at him opening it up for Acadiana also.
There you see the Carencro defense, which stuffed the Acadiana halfback on the first carry. Hamilton, Dworon, Bello, Alamont, and Gary. Linebackers are Carmouche and Malvo. The secondary is Jonah Cormier, Gaines, Charlie Sam, and Jason Babineau. A gain of 1 on the play as 15 Eric Prudhomme picked up about 1. Stelly once again gives to his halfback, and this time out across the 35, 34-yard line, and a first down for Acadiana. 21 is Craig Stutz.
Acadiana opens a big hole by the offensive line. That allows them to get the first down on the play, Mike. It's going to keep Carencro's defensive line honest on the option play and the passing plays.
Well, I tell you, I'm a little surprised at the starting lineup here. We expected to see Corey Robinson, the running back. He's not listed as a starter, but he's one of the top rushers in Acadiana. In fact, 70 carries, 544 yards, 8 touchdowns, and he's yet to be in the game, so that shows a lot of depth and talent for Acadiana. Stelly gives once again up the middle to Stutz, and Stutz will pick up 2 or 3 on the carry.
Stutz gets popped pretty hard on this play. He just keeps pumping his legs and gets up 3 and 4 yards.
Tell you, Stutz has some big men to escort him. Jermel Lawrence, the guard, 260 pounds. Kenneth Johnson, the tackle, 275. That's a big anchor. And, of course, the tight end, Brent Barrington, 250.
Jeez, these guys are almost like college players.
That's a lot of size out there. Stelly's give once again off the right side.
Raging Cajuns.
This time a pickup of only 2. There's Bill Dotson, the head coach, the man in the middle with the glasses, as he'll call the plays and send them in. 20 years at Acadiana. Carencro 7, Acadiana nothing. Carencro leads this one here at Golden Bears Stadium. We are just underway in the second quarter. The Golden Bears took over their first possession of the night at their own 49-yard line. Drove it the length of the field for a touchdown and took up 8 minutes and 46 seconds to do so. Acadiana had 1 possession, 3 and out, and now Carencro takes over once again at their own 20, their second possession of the night to start the second quarter. The pitch back for Beavers, cuts in behind a good block by Ernest Lazard, and he is dropped from behind at the out of bounds at 32-yard line. You might hear the Carencro coaching staff pleading for the face mask call up here in the press box with us. But the referee right on the spot Looked like he got him from behind. We'll get a good look here from the end zone.
Just a little straight option. He pitches it out to Beavers, who does a good job of following his blocking. And a great block by 32, Ernest Lazard. And there it is. Looks like
there you see, right on his shoulder pads, not even close.
Yeah, it looks like he may have gotten the earlobe.
Well, Beavers will pick up the first down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Carencro has shown tremendous ball control tonight in the first quarter, and looks like they're picking up where they left off. Beavers might have been a little early breaking forward. The give is to Lazard as he will bounce around, still on his feet, to the 32-yard line.
I'll tell you what, we talk about Lazard and Beavers, we can talk about them all we want, but they wouldn't be worth anything if it weren't for this offensive line of Carencro.
Give a lot of credit. You're absolutely right.
They're doing a great job of opening up holes, getting downfield, and making blocks. The offensive line away from the play is going downfield and making blocks on the defensive backs, and that's hard to coach. It's hard to get those guys to go downfield.
Unofficially, Ernest Lazard, 7 carries, 37 yards. So he's right at that 5 and 6 yard average per carry. 40 is Jason Batiste into the game. He goes in motion. Looked like somebody jumped a little quick. The play got underway, however, as Beavers and Falk carry out the play. Had a free one there. And Beavers will pick up 8, maybe 9 on the carry.
Beavers does a good job of getting outside. Here it is, just a little sweep to the left. He does a good job of getting outside. He didn't follow his block at that time. He just puts his head down and gets about 8 yards on the carry. Not often do you see running backs delivering the blow rather than taking the blow.
Well, they say that's a good sign of a good aggressive running back. Beavers, not to be outdone by Lazard, he now has 7 carries for 40 yards. So both these two are putting on a bit of a clinic here. They're going to bring the chains over and measure just to verify whether it was a first down or not. Kind of an ill-timed play as Falk very lucky to get the pitch back. And then Beavers knew what to do with it once he had it in his hands. It appears it's going to be about the length of a football short. Maybe about 1.5 feet short of the first down.
Now's a chance for them to either try and open something up, either long pass play, maybe go for it, do something a little out of the ordinary. They have a few plays to waste.
Well, Acadiana's defense being severely tested. We mentioned at the top of the show they've held opponents to under 100 yards rushing. In fact, they average only giving up 96 yards rushing per game, and already Beavers and Lazard have combined for 77 yards. Throw in Kevin Falk, and they're pushing the 100-yard mark, and we're just underway in the second quarter. 10:50 remaining, and Carencro leading 7-0. Second down and inches, what they used to call waist down. Perhaps we'll see Kevin Falk's first passing attempt of the night. Batiste in motion to the far side. Once again, the defensive line anticipates a count, and now Derek Beavers, my goodness, the flag had dropped in a late whistle, but Derek Beavers would have run forever. The right call.
Acadiana's lucky they jumped off sides.
Mike Hill, our referee tonight, and that was the right call as the defense was offside before the snap. Almost an unfortunate half a heartbeat later, and Derek Beavers would have been off to the races.
Acadiana just anticipating the snap a little bit too soon.
Well, that's
good thing they did it that time.
That's going to cost him as soon as Falk goes to the second hut rather than the first hut.
Yeah. Maybe he's going on movement.
With that penalty, 6 first downs already for Carencro in the game.
Falk needs to change the cadence just to keep him honest. Once again, Batiste in motion. Longer count. Falk gives on the delay to Lazard, and he's got running room. Ernest Lazard all the way down to the 17-yard line of Acadiana. A 25-yard burst by Ernest Lazard. See if we're going to get a replay. Just a little, here it is, just a little draw play up the middle. Gives it to Lazard. Everyone was keying on Beavers and Falk on that play, and he does a good job of getting upfield and getting extra yardage. Well, Carencro certainly has looked flawless here early as they have executed their offense to near perfection. I tell you what, that offensive line has definitely improved for Carencro.
From the I formation, Falk. Long count this time. Pitch back for Beavers. Beavers cuts it back behind some good blocking and into the end zone. Touchdown. Derek Beavers takes it the final 17 yards of the drive, and Carencro is now up 13-0 early in the second quarter.
Great job by Carencro's offensive line. Here it is, a little sweep to the left. Beavers does a good job of cutting back upfield and turns on his speed and breaks it up into the end zone for 6 points. That play took great offensive effort by the offensive line on Carencro, and Beavers does a good job of putting on the speed once he breaks the line of scrimmage and avoiding the tackles.
Well, that drive didn't take nearly as long as Wade Ritchie's kick is up and good. There's a timeout on the field. The Carencro Golden Bears lead it 14-0. Bears Stadium, where the Golden Bears are thrilling the fans with 2 early touchdowns and a 14-0 lead with 10:09 remaining in the first half.
Mike, it looks like the offensive line for Carencro is really starting to gel now. And the running backs are doing a great job. They're just waiting to see what Falk's going to do, maybe on the passing game, on a little sprint out, see how much he's come around.
Ritchie's kick is away and long, a line drive, and this one clears the end line. An automatic touchback to the 20-yard line as Wade Ritchie is putting on a kicking clinic here tonight. There you see the scoring drive, 6 plays, 81 yards, 2 minutes, 3 seconds, capped off by a 17-yard run by Derek Beavers.
That's all well and good in high school football, because once it's in the end zone, they can't run it back out. But once he reaches the college level, he's going to have to learn how to get a little more height on the ball and try and keep it inside maybe the 5-10-yard line, allowing his defenders to get downfield and make the tackle inside the 20 for him.
Well, Acadiana takes over at their own 20 as Andy Stelly wants to attempt his first pass of the night. Decides to take it down and run instead. He'll get all the way to the 30 and very close to a first down.
Great hit by Anthony Carmouche.
Anthony Carmouche did lay a lick on Andy Stelly that time.
Does a good job of coming up on the play and putting a lick on Stelly.
Well, the Stelly does manage to pick up the first down of the night for Acadiana.
Sprint out to the right. He looks to find someone open, and everyone seems to be covered. Tries to turn it upfield and gets about 6 yards on, about 2 or 3 yards on the play.
Option play. Stelly with flags flying pitches back to Corey Robinson, and Robinson could find no running room around the left side.
In fact, he barely just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they appear to be talking to the Carencro captains. And the indication is going to be the penalty will be assessed against Acadiana. Les, what a dramatic turn here early in the game. Acadiana holding teams to less than 180 yards total offense in the game and less than 100 rushing. And they now have 100. Carencro has 130 already in the first half to just 29 for Acadiana.
Well, Acadiana hadn't faced 2 good backs like they're seeing tonight. These guys have excellent speed. They do a great job of following their blocking and turning the ball upfield. And they're taking tackles head on. They're running straight at them.
What an offensive line too. Stelly, the give into the middle of the line. Not much running room for Acadiana. Stop on the play by Chad Garrett. Will bring up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, it seems like Carencro has momentum going their way. So Acadiana needs to come out either throwing. They need to get a first down and move the ball a little bit more. Carencro's fired up, and it's going to be hard for them to get things going once Carencro gets like this.
Stelly on the bootleg has plenty of running room to the inside and brought down from behind, but not before he'll advance all the way to the 43-yard line of Carencro.
And that's one way to stop the pursuit is run a little belly play, and he was wide open for about a 30-yard gain here, Mike.
You'll get another look at it.
Here it is, just a bootleg to the right. Gets a little blocking from one man. It's just turning on the speed, seeing how far you can run. He gets caught from behind here by Brian Hamilton, but after the first down in about 10, 15 extra yards.
So Andy Stelly is moving his team only on his own willpower. First and 10 from the Carencro 43.
Whoop.
Motion in the backfield, but I tell you, the back can move. 34 is Brandon Francis, and I believe that's going to be an offsides against Carencro. They were all pointing to the back. But the backfield, the back can pick up that hand and put it back down.
Yep, it's offsides Acadiana. I think the offensive tackle may have moved.
The left offensive tackle perhaps jumped. In any event, the 5-yard assessment will bring up first and 15. There was motion on the left side of the line, but I'm not sure if that came from being smashed by the front line of the defense or not. As you see the numbers on Stelly, somewhat effective through the air, better than 50%, as he audibles at the line. And gives straight ahead to Corey Robinson, and Corey Robinson wishes Stelly maybe would have audibled to a different play, as he was met by what seemed to be the entire front line of Carencro.
Carencro's doing a good job of coming and picking up the ball. They're hitting Acadiana with all they can, and this is really starting to throw Acadiana's offense off. Acadiana needs to move the ball, and this is a big scoring drive for them right here.
Corey Robinson averages almost 8 yards per carry. That right there will hurt that average, as he had no pickup. Second down and 14 for the Rams. Stelly bumped in the back. Oh, can't get it away. Football is loose and covered. And we've got a referee that's going to be hurt. Did Joe Bello with the sack for Carencro. Let's sort all this out for you. Stelly bumped into his own running back, bumped into Craig Stoops as he dropped back.
Here it is. He fakes the veer. It's a little play-action pass. He's supposed to hit the split in on a quick slant play, and he gets sacked. And shoot, 77, Joe Bello just sacks the referee and everybody in his way.
Well, the referee, Greg Hill, took a lick to his ankle as the ball was loose, and an Acadiana offensive lineman alertly pounced on it, but had to go through the referee to get to it. Mike Hill, and I'll tell you, he took that shot right above the ankle, and that's going to smart.
May have to call in his reserve, J.J. LaPointe. Here's another look at the play.
Watch right here as the ball, as Stelly gets hit.
Looks like the referee gets
right there.
Rolled on or something.
Yeah, though the lineman going for the ball on the ground nailed him low.
He's shaking up.
Couldn't pick up that number, I believe. Don't want to give too much credit, but Kenneth Johnson, number 77, appeared to be the lineman who pounced on the loose football. So now third down and long. Call it 3rd and 17. Bootleg and nowhere to run as Stephen Carlson was into the game for Acadiana. As Andy Stelly's shaken up on the play, and Carlson was swarmed under immediately.
Here it is. They're trying to fake the bootleg to the left side this time, and the
Jonah
defensive
Cormier.
end, Jonah Cormier, doesn't fall for it at all. He makes a big play.
So Carencro dominating on both sides, as you see Mike Hill there being checked out by the trainer for Carencro. He took the lick right above the ankle. Corey Robinson is in to kick. Deep to receive is Derek Beavers as the snap is fumbled, and Robinson gets it away, a low liner. Fair catch called for. It'll be 1st and 10. That's Kevin Falk, catching the punt. 1st and 10 from the 30. As Acadiana is once again unable to advance the football.
Carencro lined up like they were going to block the punt. It looks like it made the punter a little bit nervous, and he missed the ball. The ball hit him. He drops the ball. If they'd have been pursuing him a little bit quicker, they could have probably blocked the punt or tackled the punter.
Carencro really, you can see the ball control strategy tonight as they have been known to go with the no-huddle offense, but tonight they're taking their time between plays. In the I formation, Kevin Falk, the quarterback, brings Comeaux in motion and pitches back to Beavers, who cuts in behind a block by Lazard. And Derek Beavers will be rode out of bounds at the 39-yard line, a pickup of 9 on the play.
Beavers doing a good job of catching the ball on the option and getting upfield.
Pitch back for Beavers, cuts back to the middle. This time, well, there's 2 40s listed in my program. So we'll go with John Chevalier, since that's the lineup the coaches gave us before the game.
Carencro starting to do a better job of filling in the holes. Waiting for the running backs to come through. Got 3rd and 2 here, Mike. I'm looking maybe some kind of play action pass, or probably just a handoff up to Lazard, the big moose up the middle.
Well, Lazard has shown the ability to pick up the tough yardage. Acadiana stays in the 4-3. Long count by Falk. And you're right, the give is to Lazard. Left tackle still on his feet. Ernest Lazard finally bounced out of bounds, but not before a first down and more to the Acadiana 46-yard line. And tempers flaring a little bit as 81, Terrence Blackwell.
82, Ryan Leger.
And 82, Ryan Leger had a couple of words after the play. AC 24 really got waylaid Jarvis Boudreaux.
Zor does a good job also of getting upfield, Mike.
Well, I said Jarvis Boudreaux. We also have 2 24s in our program. Jermaine Sellers is the cornerback for Acadiana. And Ernest Lazard is the running back who picked up the first down. Another first down. The referees are sorting this one out to get the proper spot of the football. If you've joined us just recently, our score 14-0. Carencro leads it. 4:30 remains in the first half, and it's been a very dominant performance so far by Carencro. Acadiana has only had possession of the football twice in the game, and both times it was, first time it was 3 downs and out. The second time, after a couple of first downs, Acadiana had to punt it away once again. Carencro has scored on 2 of their 3 possessions, this being the 3rd possession of the first half for the Golden Bears. Falk just does manage to get it away to Lazard, and Lazard takes a hit behind the line and still manages to pick up 8 yards on the carry.
That's what extra effort to do for you. He does a good job of getting hit. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage here, Mike, and just keeps pumping his legs and breaks it through. The linebackers over pursued a little bit, and they had to depend on the defensive backs to make the tackle. And if you have to depend on defensive backs to make the tackle all night, you're going to find out that Carencro is going to start getting a lot of extra yardage.
Well, for Lazard, unofficially 10 carries, 83 yards on the night, very near the 100-yard mark. So Ernest Lazard is really putting on a show. 2nd down and 1, short yardage situation again for the Golden Bears. Falk pulls it out of the belly, Lazard, and pitches back to Beavers. And the cornerback for Acadiana, Craig Stutz, there to make the play. It's a loss.
Beavers may have dropped the ball on the option play, and he picked it up right at the last second. Here it is, just a fake handoff to the fullback inside. Sees the defensive end coming, pitches the football, drops the football.
I said Stutz, that's actually Cy Green, number 23, who made the play. And there you see the graphic on Ernest Lazard, 8.3 yard per carry average tonight, as he has put on a show. 3rd and 6 from the 41. Clock moving, 2:56 to go. Falk, first pass of the night, tried to set up a screen pass, and the pressure from the inside simply too quick, too much, and Kevin Falk just had to throw it away.
Mayo gets in on the tackle. Falk coming in from the backside of Falk, and that's what didn't allow Falk to get the play off. Looks like
quick read by Mayo, and the first punt of the night by Carencro. Well, this might be a punt. This might be a field goal attempt. Let's wait and see. It's at the 41. It would be a 58-yard attempt. That might be just a little out of Wade Ritchie's range.
No, he's lined up to punt here.
I tell you, it would be gutsy and really an outstanding call by Mac Barus to allow him to attempt the field goal. Both teams are going to talk it over. As I wouldn't be surprised, Les, to see Acadiana put the block on here. They need something to generate some momentum in this game.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. Acadiana came out looking a little flat. What's the excitement about over here?
Well, the excitement is I think they're going to change the call and go for a field goal, perhaps. Let's wait and see. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for the field goal, Mike. This will be about a...
Well, did he carry a kicking tee out with him?
Sure did.
Well, let's see, from the 41, that would be a 58-yard attempt. Now, Ritchie made a 52-yard attempt last week.
Well, he's got the leg to get it there.
As Carencro whitewashed New Iberia 41-0 last week. A 58-yard attempt, and that
Jesus, boy, he's
must be some sort of record. Maybe even a record just for an attempt in Acadiana high school football.
Yeah, he's earned a lot of respect from Barus to be able to try a 58-yarder. It's as good as time of inning to try it, though.
The kick is up. It's going to be off to the right and short. Short by about 3 or 4 yards, but way right. So Ritchie extended the limit of his range. Unable to come up with it. The ball into the end zone.
You can tell by the spin, Mike, when it takes off. If it's spinning real fast to the back, he didn't get all of his foot into it.
May have tried to get it up in the air a little too much. Yeah. Got under it a bit. Still a good attempt, even with that.
He didn't
really follow through. It looked like he tried to punch it and didn't get quite the follow through because the ball drifted to the right on him.
If he'd hit it right, he had a good shot of getting it through.
Well, the result just as good as a punt, as Acadiana will take over for the 3rd time of the night at their own 20. 3 possessions. Ball an automatic touchback going into the end zone. And to give off the left side is Craig Stutz. Check that, Corey Robinson, 33 Corey Robinson in at halfback now for Acadiana. And he'll pick up about 5 with one of the best carries of the night from the backfield for Acadiana. 2:22 remains in the first half. Carencro leading 14-0. There's Wade Ritchie on the sidelines. He'd like another attempt. Jody Carlson is in at quarterback as Andy Stelly has not returned after that. Excuse me, Stephen Carlson is in at quarterback, number 8. Stelly has not returned after that vicious hit by Jonah Cormier that shook loose the football on the last possession for Acadiana and knocked out one of the referees in the process.
Stelly took a lick. He's probably seen a few stars over there. He doesn't want any part of this for at least the rest of the half. So we'll be looking forward to him probably coming back to the second half. In the meantime, giving Carlson, a sophomore, a good chance to get some experience in.
Well, Carlson will hand off straight ahead as Eric Prudhomme, number 15, will pick up a couple and move the chains once again for Acadiana. But time becomes your enemy with 1:22 remaining. And no points. If you're Bill Dotson, do you just want to maintain possession of the football and get out of here and go regroup?
Well, they have about 65 yards to go. I definitely wouldn't take any chances. I'd try to move the ball, let my offensive line get a picture of the defense to see what they're needing to do to adjust. But
well, Carlson under pressure gets it away.
Looks like he has a little confidence in Carlson's arm, so Carlson coming out here on a sprint out pass and throwing a little ball in the 10-yard slant, just throws it a little high.
Intended for number 80, Terrence Blackwell, unable to haul it down.
Looks like he has a pretty good release, a strong arm for a sophomore quarterback.
Well, the cheerleaders have unleashed their bag of footballs as they're now being launched into the crowd here just before halftime.
It's not homecoming again, is it, Mike?
Boy, I hope not. 2nd and 10, a minute to go in the first half. The give off right tackle. Very little gain on the play, about 2. Well, we'll call it a pickup of 3. He'll bring up 3rd and 7. And Acadiana will just about have to pass the football. And if you're Carencro, maybe you want to think about calling a timeout and getting the football back with decent field position one more time. Mac Barroos apparently happy to let the clock run with a 14-0 lead. You get a look, the guy in the green shirt in the middle, Bill Dotson, the head coach of Acadiana.
Yeah, with the success that Beavers and Lazard have had in the first half, 20 seconds is a lot of time for them to score.
Corey Robinson off left tackle, tries to cut it back for more. The crowd seems to think there's a fumble on the play as there is a scramble for the football.
Clock hasn't stopped yet.
Clock stopped with 7 seconds, and Carencro did indeed come up with a football. Acadiana's coaching staff protesting on the other side of the field. Appears that number 4, Jonah Cormier, able to come up with a football. He's getting a few high fives. And I tell you, that gives Wade Ritchie, gives him time with 7 seconds and all your timeouts left.
Yep.
You tried it from 40,
yards.
you tried it from 58. Why not try it again? You're almost at the same field position here.
Yeah, I think he would try it again. He knows that Ritchie didn't get all of his foot into it, and that's what caused him to go short and to the right a little bit. And with another chance, maybe he can get it through. Maybe they're going to try it again, too.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Acadiana 44. This would be a 61-yard attempt. As we get another look, see if you can tell where the ball squirts loose. Right there, it sure did.
Good call by the referees.
And Carencro on it. So, I don't know, with 7 seconds, seems like he might try
60-yarder
to push it forward a little bit, but this would be a 60-yard attempt. And I got to tell you, this is the longest attempt I've ever seen
longest attempt
in
I've
high
ever
school and most colleges. And if he were to make this one, buddy, I tell you, the scouts will come out of the woodworks.
Well, he'll definitely get national recognition if he puts this one through. He's got the legs, so he doesn't try to rush it. He'll get it through.
This is a matter of timing. High snap. Kick is away.
Got a good kick. It's good.
Got the good. Oh! Just off to the right as Wade Ritchie had enough leg. And how he missed it, I don't know.
That was a matter of inches, Mike. That football was definitely long enough, and just a little short, it looked like.
Time has expired in the first half. Our score, Carencro 14, Acadiana nothing, and we'll be back.
Jesus Christ, what a leg.
Let's get another look at Wade Ritchie's 60-yard attempt. Looks like he had the direction nailed right down the middle.
Oh, just a little short.
And dropped. I tell you, I thought it dropped behind, but it must have dropped just under the crossbar. And that's about as close as you can come from a 60-yard attempt for a junior in high school. That is amazing. The crowd being entertained by the Golden Bearettes here at halftime, and of course the Golden Bear Marching Band. To recap the first half for you quickly, Carencro has been dominant, to say the least, on the ground tonight. They took their opening possession with 11:50 to go in the first quarter with great field position at their own 49-yard line. 51 yards and 8 minutes and 46 seconds later, a 14-yard drive. Ernest Lazard punched it in for the first touchdown of the night, and Carencro led 7-0. Acadiana took over after Wade Ritchie's kickoff sailed clear of the end zone at their own 20. 3 plays later, punted it away. Carencro then took over at their own 20 with 1 second to go in the first quarter. This time it didn't take nearly as long as they went 81 yards in 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Derek Beavers with a 17-yard touchdown run for Carencro. And our score stood where it is now at 14-0. Acadiana had 2 more opportunities on the night. One that they took over their own 20 with 10:09 to go, had to punt it away. Carencro tried a 58-yard field goal with 3 minutes left, and Wade Ritchie was short. And then Acadiana fumbled while trying to run out the clock in the first half, and a 60-yard field goal, as you saw, by Wade Ritchie, just short under the crossbar. And that's where we stand at halftime, 14-0. The Carencro Golden Bear Marching Band taking the field to entertain the crowd. We'll be back in just a moment with halftime stats, and we'll talk to Les about what adjustments need to be made in the second half. 14-0 our score, and we'll be back. We are at halftime at Carencro Golden Bear Stadium. 14-0 our score as Carencro leads it here in this District 4 5A matchup. Both teams 6-1 on the year. Carencro ranked 3rd in the state, 2-0 in district. The winner would have a definite advantage on the lead for the district championship. Nice crowd out tonight from both sides. Of course, Acadiana High School just down the road is the other side of the field. They brought quite a nice crowd, and there you get a look at the folks from Carencro supporting their faithful as they are being entertained by the Carencro Marching Band. Take a look at the halftime statistics. Unless it's been all Carencro so far dominating the game. You see 9 first downs and just 3 for Acadiana, and those came in one possession. And look at those yards rushing, 158-75. This game has been done all on the ground. In fact, only one pass attempt on the night in that screen pass attempt that was incomplete. 2 pass attempts as Carlson tried one for Acadiana. So this one has come down to time of possession, and Carencro doing a good job at 14-41 to just 9-19 for Acadiana.
Yeah, Mike, I don't think Acadiana is as bad as Carencro is making them look right now. I think they're just in a little shock from what happened at the opening kickoff and in the first play of the ball game. The reverse play on the kickoff and the fake reverse for big yardage on the first play from the scrimmage. I think Acadiana is going to have to start getting their defensive line to hold those blockers, to hold Acadiana's blockers down so that the linebackers can fill in the hole. The offensive line at Carencro is doing a good job of getting to the linebackers. This is allowing Lazard and Beavers to get extra yardage upfield. They just start filling in those holes a little bit better and getting that defensive line to hold the line and keep them from coming off the line of scrimmage so quick and so strong. And maybe they're going to start to come around defensively. As far as for offensively for Acadiana, the offensive line needs to start doing a better job of pushing Carencro back 2 or 3 yards so that this can allow the Acadiana's backs to get upfield. I don't think Acadiana is that bad offensively either. I think they're going to come out the second half and improve on what they've done on the first half. I mean, they have to. They haven't really done that well. And I look for it to be a better match game towards the second half.
Well, of course, you talk about Carencro. They have averaged 40 points a game in the last 4 games. So this offense very explosive and able to put a lot of points on the board. Conversely, Acadiana's defense, they are allowing 14 points a game, but if you throw out that 50-0 blowout by Crowley, which was really just one of those nightmare games where everything went wrong, that defense for Acadiana only allows 8 points a game. So they are right at their average, and you know they're going to regroup. Bill Dotson's going to have them ready down there in the end zone already talking about it.
Well, they've already proven that they can come back from big adversity like the Crowley football game, and this is just another setback for Acadiana. I think they're going to come out the second half fired up. Coach Dotson has the experience of getting his teams back up for the second half. Coach Barus needs to keep his team fired up. And looks like Acadiana should come back the second half and make this a more exciting game.
Well, while we have a moment at halftime, too, let's just throw in a word of thanks to Coach Mac Barus and his staff for all their cooperation. They really meet us out here, help our crew set up, and give us everything we need to put a broadcast together. And we really do appreciate all their help and cooperation. Just some individual statistics for you before we go to break. Ernest Lazard, unofficially 10 carries, 83 yards on the night. Derek Beavers, 11 rushes for 63 yards. For Acadiana, it's really just been Stutes and Stelly. Craig Stutes, 4 carries, 24 yards. Andy Stelly, 2 carries, 37 yards. And 25 of that came on 1 carry on a bootleg where he was able to reach the sideline. We're being entertained at halftime. Our score, Carencro 14, Acadiana nothing. And we'll be back in just a moment. Halftime, 14-0 our score as Carencro leads Acadiana here in a District 4 5A matchup. As the crowd being entertained in an extended halftime performance, Once Upon a Time by the Carencro Golden Bear Band. Well, we've got two quarters of action left in the second half, Les. Acadiana is going to want to rally and see if they can make an adjustments to move the football on Carencro. Meanwhile, of course, Carencro with some of those dynamic running backs, they are really loaded when you consider Kevin Falk, Derek Beavers, and Ernest Lazard. And, you know, Mac Barry said earlier in the week that typically his Carencro teams peaked earlier, but this looks like they're putting it together late in the season. Tomorrow, we want to remind you, Saturday at noon, as always, Southwest Conference football action, and this one should be a dandy as the Houston Cougars go to Austin, Texas to take on the Texas Longhorns in what could be a game with major implications as to who wins the Southwest Conference and who goes on to play in the Cotton Bowl. Then 2 weeks from tonight, Les and I will be with you for our final broadcast of a high school football in Acadiana. 7 o'clock live at Acadiana High. We'll move down the road a bit as the Lafayette High Mighty Lions come in. And, of course, they are still trying to finish in the playoff picture and in first place in District 4 5A. This game tonight, a lot of implications as far as who goes on to get the favored seed in the playoff. Acadiana and Carencro both 2-0 in district. The winner would go to 3-0, the loser 2-1. Lafayette High upset, or a mild upset, not really much of an upset, I guess, if you're a Northside fan, as Northside handed them their first loss last week. And Northside and Lafayette High both at 1-1 in district. Of course, Lafayette plays Comeaux tonight, and based on Comeaux's performances so far this season, you would think that Lafayette High would pick up their second win. Northside, meanwhile, is hosting New Iberia. A couple other good games going on around the area, Les, and one that you have particular interest in, I know, and you want to tell the folks about.
That's the Hanson Memorial Tigers, my alma mater, and Turling's Catholic Rebels. Looking for probably the district championship there, whoever can pull that one off. As you know, Turling's has a great quarterback, Jake DeLome. Fine touch, a great athlete, just gives you 100% on both sides of the football. They stick him in there on defense when they need him on big plays. They have him in there offensively, runs the ball, throws the ball, runs the options very well. And Hanson Tigers are going to have a hard time stopping him. They beat Central Catholic of Morgan City last week. They beat them 26-12. They did a good job of stopping another great quarterback in the area, Chad Bailey. Bailey is believed to be the better quarterback of he and DeLome, but DeLome has the higher stats than Bailey. And Hanson has a pretty well balanced offense. They have some good running backs. They had a good running back that got injured, Corey Madis. He got injured early. He's about 6'2", 245. And I look for that to be a good game. Kind of wish we would have done one of those games.
Well, Turling's, of course, was an exciting game, but we've got a barn burner going here as Carencro leads it 14-0 over Acadiana. Both teams have come back on the field getting ready for the second half of action. Wade Ritchie down here, I don't know if we'll get a shot, if we can take a look, but he's kind of taking a few practice kicks from the 50 just in case he wants to try that 60-yarder again. I tell you, that is some kind of leg by that young man.
Yeah, sure.
You know, we talk about some quarterbacks with some statistics. There you get a look at the Acadiana staff. Bill Dotson, the guy with the green shirt and the glasses. Scott McCullough. Yeah, one of the better baseball coaches in the area.
Yeah, Acadiana has a good program athletically and academically. Miss Judy Cox, the principal at Acadiana, Coach Dotson there, the head coach. He's trying to get him fired up for the second half. He's going to do a good job of doing it, I hope. Look for a more exciting game here in the second half.
Well, you know, we talked about some guys with some good stats. Andy Stelly for Acadiana in the top 15. In fact, as I glance at it, he's about 12th in the Acadiana area. 36 out of 67, so better than 50% passing. 8 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions and 563 yards passing on the year. But he just has not had an opportunity, has not had any time back there to get away with the football. Most of the time when he's dropped back with maybe intentions to pass, he's been scrambling for his life back there.
Yeah, Carencro's doing a good job on the defensive line of getting to Stelly and not allowing him get any passes or get much yardage. He broke 2 of them for about 30, 40 yards, and I'm looking for Stelly to try and put it up in the air to his receivers. He's got some pretty good receivers, so I look for them to open it up a little bit more in the air in the second half.
Well, you know, he's been harassed by number 77, Joe Bello, 6'1", 285 pounds, and that was the guy that delivered the lick that knocked Andy Stelly out in the first half, and that's got to feel like a mountain falling on you.
Yeah, that's if he comes back in the second half. He might be still seeing stars after that lick.
Looks like we're just about ready for the second half kickoff as Acadiana's return team has taken the field. Carencro is breaking their huddle. Of course, Acadiana hasn't had much opportunity to need a return team as Wade Ritchie has kicked off out the end zone every time tonight and not given much opportunity for returns. 3 men stand deep to receive for Acadiana. Corey Robinson in the middle, standing at his own 3-yard line. He's joined to his left is John George, and to the near side is 34, Brandon Francis, to receive for Acadiana.
Ritchie's been an asset so far in the game. He hadn't allowed Acadiana to return any kickoffs. He kicks them out of the end zone, and once they're in the end zone, it's an automatic touchback. So,
well, we're underway as Ritchie's kick is long, straight, deep, and out of the end zone.
Looked like it was a little wide right, Mike.
Very much like that 60-yard field goal attempt, this time from his own 40. So the ball carried 70 yards in the air.
Well, he's definitely got the leg for a 60-yarder.
He is impressive. Acadiana will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20, and that's been their same starting point every time they've had the football tonight.
Stelly's back in the game.
Andy Stelly is back in at quarterback. And will run the option on the first play. Cuts it up himself, and he is tackled hard after a pickup of about 2.
Stelly's better learn to tuck that football. He's going to have a big turnover here.
51 is Ernest Malvo, the middle linebacker, right there to lay the lick on Andy Stelly. Probably his key man on the option. He follows Stelly down the line. Spot of the football gives Stelly a 3-yard pickup. 2nd and 7 from the 23. The give straight ahead off left tackle. See who comes up out of that pile. 24, the running back.
It's tackled by Anthony Comeaux.
15, Eric Prudhomme.
Prudhomme did a good job of coming up. Comeaux does a good job of coming up and making the tackle. One thing Acadiana might want to do is start to open it up because the defensive backs are coming up and making the tackle. They're expecting to run every play.
Well, the weak side blitz this time as Stelly has nowhere to go and will be dropped for the loss. A loss of 5 on the play, and 77, Joe Bello, led the charge.
Yeah, Carencro had on the blitz on that play. They had one-on-one. Here it is, a little sprint out pass to the right. The blitz is on, and he just doesn't have enough time to get the play off.
Stelly probably wisely decided to tuck it and take his loss, but with 4th and 11, Corey Robinson on to punt, and sophomore quarterback Kevin Falk stands at his own 47-yard line to receive.
Block.
The block is on, and they've got it. Carencro just going to fall on it as a 28 came up with it. Brian Hamilton finally fell on the football, but give a lot of credit to Comeaux's front line as you get another look.
Here it is.
84, Chad Gary with the block.
Coach Bauru saw on the earlier punt play that the punter had a little trouble catching the ball and getting off the ball. He saw that he may have been a little slow getting the ball off and decided to go for the block, and he came up successful.
Well, we'll have to see how Acadiana reacts, but you got to think for Carencro, a big play to open up. If they score quickly here, they might could put this game away early. From the 22 of Acadiana. Falk. Bootleg. Got running room to the right side, cuts it back. Still on his feet and all the way down to the 1-yard line as Kevin Falk.
What a great job of faking here by Falk. He fakes a play action, bootleg. He sprints out to the right. He puts the ball behind his back. No one knows who has the ball. See if we get a replay on this, Mike.
21-yard run by Kevin Falk will set up first and goal for the Golden Bears with 9:42 to go in the third quarter.
Look for Lazard to get the football. He's their money man.
The handoff is to Lazard.
Ooh,
Looks like he might have crossed, but the referee says he's just short of the goal line. Hard to believe that Ernest Lazard could be stopped on a 1-yard plunge, but give a lot of credit to that front line. 63 Nash Sims leading the charge for Acadiana. It'll be second and goal with the football, the nose of the football just outside the goal line. Derek Beavers and Chad Arno check out. Jonah Cormier in the game, along with Brian Hamilton. Well, the last time they put Hamilton in, they ran the slant off the right tackle and scored the touchdown from the wishbone formation. This time to Lazard, and he's met in the backfield and going to be dropped for a loss on the play.
Good pursuit by Acadiana's defensive line. Do a good job of getting into the backfield and making the tackle. Might look for some type of bootleg here. They left Kevin Falk uncovered on this play, on this last play.
Well, I tell you, Falk has a lot of speed and he's got quick feet. I would think the sprint out would be a good option where he can run or pass.
Yeah, that's just going to be a race to the flag once he fakes the handoff.
If you've just joined us, 14-0 our score. 8 minutes remain in the third quarter. Carencro trying to punch it in for one more score. It is the bootleg, and then Falk is going to just jog it into the end zone. It's Nash Sims unable to get free of his block and catch up with Kevin Falk. And I tell you what, Kevin Falk, you get another look, it was easy into the end zone.
It's a race to the flag. No one can get him.
Now he quits running at about the 3 and jogs it in.
A little styling and profiling.
Styling and profiling, but one of those defensive linemen might decide to dismember his head from the style. Better to get it on in the end zone and, get off to the sidelines. Ritchie's kick is up. It is good. And Carencro takes a 3-touchdown lead. We'll be back. 21-0 our score. Carencro leading with 7:55 remaining in the third quarter. Kevin Falk with his first touchdown of the night. It's been evenly spread among that backfield between Lazard, Beavers, and Falk. Wade Ritchie's kick this time much higher and taken at the 1-yard line by Corey Robinson. Squirts to the outside and got a little running room.
Put the ball in the other hand.
Down the sidelines and bounced out of bounds at the 33. A nice run back by Corey Robinson. Take a look at the scoring drive for Carencro. Just 4 plays, 18 yards, 2:07. 2-yard touchdown run by Falk. And Les, you're right. Corey kind of carrying that thing out there on the wrong side.
When you're running right, you got to put the ball on the right. When you're running left, you put the ball on the left. One of those defenders can just come in and make a swipe at the ball and be a fumble and another turnover.
Well, we'll see if Acadiana can get anything going. The Wrecking Rams have drawn blanks so far tonight. Their best field position of the night. And Carlson is in at quarterback. The sophomore Stephen Carlson taking over once again for Andy Stelly.
Tell you what, I'm impressed by the way Comeaux comes up and delivers the blows. He does a good job of coming out of the defensive backfield and hitting the fullback for after only 4 yards. A little play action pass right now would definitely throw Carencro off guard if he could get it off.
Well, you got to wonder if Andy Stelly may be still a little woozy. He started the second half, but the sophomore Stephen Carlson now in at quarterback for Acadiana. 2nd down and 6. Carlson gives off to his halfback Prudhomme, and he'll be knocked back, maybe a gain of about 1 on the play. That front defensive line for Carencro is really doing a job tonight.
Yeah, they're not allowing the offensive line to get anything started. they're delivering the blows to the offensive line, whereas instead of the offensive line delivering the blows to them. This isn't allowing any holes to open up for them, and not allowing the quarterbacks to do any kind of play action pass or passing.
Carencro coaching staff obviously happy with their team's effort tonight. Carlson, straight drop back, now gets it away and complete as Terrence Mitchell came back to the football. Terrence Blackwell. And boy, Carlson really did a good job just getting rid of the football.
Good job by Blackwell coming back and getting the football. That time the offensive line gave him a little, here it is, a straight drop back pass, a little 5-step drop, a little curl route on the right side. He looked for the tight end over the middle at first. Good job by Carlson, looking off the defenders and getting to the wide receiver on the curl route.
First complete pass of the night by either team. Carlson goes back to work on the option, keeps it himself, and he'll pick up 2 as he gets across midfield into Carencro territory. And I'll have to check the stats, but I believe that's the first time tonight that Acadiana has crossed over into Carencro territory. Here's Ernest Malvo, the linebacker you like so well, making the tackle on Carlson.
Yeah, he and Carl Moose are doing a good job of coming up and delivering the blows.
On the far side of the bench there is number 1, Wade Ritchie. And, of course, the backfield, Beavers and Lazard standing up. Second down, 7. Quick pitch back to Robinson. He's got running room down the left side, and Robinson appears to have picked up another first down at the 41-yard line. Kind of a late developing play, and Robinson slow getting up.
Yeah, that play was a good little sweet play to the left side, and the reason it worked so well is because the quarterback Stephen Carlson faked the bootleg like he had the football, so they had to respect Carlson. Here it is. He fakes it and then he sprints out to the left side so that it holds the left side of the defensive backs. This allows him to get extra yardage.
79, Johnny Cosper, 6'4", 228 tackle, laid a nice block to spring Robinson. It looks like he got tackled right on top or rolled over the first down marker. And he's still down. They did manage to move Corey off to the sideline, so play will resume with 5:26 to go in the third quarter. 21-0 our score. Carencro, Acadiana with their first drive of any significance on the night as they have marched from their own 33-yard line to the Carencro 40.
Tell you what, Mike Carlson's coming in showing a lot of confidence for being a sophomore with not that much experience. He's doing a good job of carrying out his fakes, and this is what's allowing the running plays to open up a little bit more.
Well, I tell you, this is Acadiana's 5th possession of the night. Their first possession was from the 20 and a punt. Their second possession from the 20 and a punt. Their third possession from the 20 and a fumble. Their first possession in the second half from the 20 and a punt. This is the first time they've started from anywhere but their own 20. This time from the 33, and they are moving the football a bit.
Yeah, Carlson's starting to look a little shaky at times, but he's just excited and being in the game and getting a little nervous and not being able to think straight. He's got on autopilot right now.
Brandon Francis into the game with the carry. No gain for Acadiana. 3rd and 8. And Carlson slipped as he tried to cut back on the bootleg. He'll lose 7 on the play, and the punting unit for Acadiana will take the field.
Tough break for Acadiana.
Well, I tell you, the penetration, though, by Carencro, they've lived in the Acadiana backfield tonight.
Yeah, Carencro definitely doing a good job of pursuing, getting to the football, of getting through the offensive line. The offensive line for Acadiana has got to do a better job of keeping them out of there, or it's going to be a long night.
Corey Robinson handles the punting chores for Acadiana. Kevin Falk back at his own 18 to receive. The block was on once again. May have gotten a piece of it as the punt wound up short. I believe 26 James Carter in there to get a hand on it.
16-yard punt.
Carencro will take over after a 16-yard punt at their own 29, so not much of a pickup on the exchange of punt there.
Carencro lined up to come after it again. They got a hand on it. Just allow the ball to go 15 yards instead of about 30 or 40 yards. Another good call by Coach Barus of Carencro.
Well, 3:31 to go in the third quarter. Carencro from their own 29-yard line. Long count by Falk. Gives to Lazard off left tackle. And he'll pick up 1 or 2 on the carry. This stage of the ball game, you would think that Mac Barus and as 91 you get a look at, that's Chad Kloos with the tackle, but you'd think Mac Barus would want to just simply run the football and let that clock run.
Yeah, he's definitely in a position to try and kick off as many kicks off the clock as he can. He's going to try and keep the ball in play, let his running backs do what they've been doing best so far this game, and just allowing the clock to run down.
From the I formation, Beavers sprints in motion to the near side, leaving Lazard the single setback. And now Falk going to throw behind Beavers, incomplete.
Looks like he slipped a little bit when he went back to throw.
I tell you, this has been the weakness tonight, as Falk is 0 for 3 in the passing department. If there is one weakness for Carencro, it is the inability to move the ball if they have to through the air.
If they want to look at being a good playoff contender, they're going to definitely have to learn how to be able to attack people from the air and also from the ground.
Well, their offense, get this, Les, they only average 25 yards passing per game. But to the plus side, 288 on the ground running. 313 yards total offense by this Carencro Golden Bear offense.
Here comes the blitz from the backside.
Falk tries to cut it back. He's going to be met by the pursuit and dropped at about his own 32-yard line. Appears number 40, John Chevalier, there to make the stop.
Looks like Acadiana's defense is starting to get a little more confident. Now they need to get something started for the offense.
At Big Lowe's, Gramel Lawrence, 260 pounds on a 6'1" frame from the weak side pursuit, and for the first punt of the night for Carencro tonight.
Acadiana lining up 9 men on the line of scrimmage. They may try and come after it this time.
Wade Ritchie will handle the punting chores. They were going to punt once earlier and decided to kick a 58-yard field goal attempt instead. Ritchie's punt just as good as his field goals, high but out of bounds at the 38-yard line. They're going to bring it all the way up to the 42. That was almost the dreaded word that punters don't want to hear. But it did have a lot of hang time. But the best field position of the night, as Carencro goes 3 and out with a punt, but the best field position of the night for Acadiana as Carencro leads it 21-0 and a minute 51 to go in the third quarter.
Looked like Ritchie missed it just a little bit.
Well, from their own 42-yard line, Acadiana will try once again with Carlson at quarterback.
There it is.
Bootleg and a pass, complete. 87 is Brent Barrington, the big tight end for Acadiana, and he'll pick up 15 and more, the first down for the Rams.
Good call by Acadiana. Play action pass. They've been stopping them offensively on the option and the dive plays all night, and this is what allowed the tight end to get open on a little tight end delay.
Well, the numbers on Barrington, he averages almost 17 yards per catch, has 7 touchdowns on the year. Carlson right back to work. Carlson tackle, 2-yard gain on the play.
Barrington's another big moose out there, 6'4", 250.
I tell you, for a 5A classification, there's a lot of beef out there. Stephen Carlson doing a good job in relief of Andy Stelly, the sophomore quarterback, 5'8", 155. As the wide receivers shuttle the plays in.
I coached Stephen this summer also in baseball, summer league baseball. He's a good athlete, got a good arm. He's going to be the player for Acadiana in the future.
Pitch back to Robinson, and Jonah Cormier was having nothing to do with that as he shot in from the outside linebacker and dropped Robinson for a big loss.
That was great pursuit by him. Just Acadiana for a big loss in the backfield. That's going to stop things for Acadiana just as they're starting to get them moving.
Second
Well, I
down,
tell you,
16.
the linebackers and the defensive line for Carencro have lived in Acadiana's backfield tonight. Third down and 16. The pitch back to Robinson, and this time he finds a gap and has running room. Robinson tries to cut it back. He'll pick up a first down all the way to the Carencro 27-yard line.
Good job by Acadiana's offensive line of finally getting a hole open over here on the right side. Robinson turns the speed on, but he's got to put that ball in the other hand. It's going to cost him immensely if he doesn't put that ball in the other hand when he's running right.
Robinson, just a sophomore running back, shows how explosive he can be out of the backfield. And that's the end of the third quarter. So Acadiana trying to set up and do some damage early in the fourth. We'll be back in a moment. Our score, Carencro 21, Acadiana nothing. Back live at Carencro Golden Bear Stadium. 21-0 our scores. The Golden Bears lead the Wrecking Rams. The Rams with their most impressive drive of the night as they have moved the football down to the 27-yard line of Carencro. This drive beginning at their own 42, which coincidentally was the best field position of the night for the Rams. Steve Carlson wants to throw. Comes back to the weak side, and the big end, number 84, Chad Gary, stayed home and dropped Carlson for the loss.
It's just too much pursuit for Acadiana to allow Carlson to get anything going.
Well, does it seem to you, you get another look on replay, but Acadiana's timing has just been off a little bit out of sync all night long.
Well, that's because Carencro is doing a good job of getting through the offensive line and getting to the quarterbacks and the running backs and not allowing them to do anything.
Seems like Carlson has had second and long every time he's turned around. Robinson breaks one tackle, directing traffic, still on his feet, still running, and picks up 7 on what should have been about a 12-yard loss.
Good job by Robinson doing it on his own.
Well, Robinson's showing flashes that there's a lot of talent in the backfield for Acadiana. They just haven't been able to get on track tonight.
Robinson's also a sophomore. Looking at two pretty good athletes here in Robinson and Carlson. Here he is right here. He's just strictly on extra effort of getting up the field and getting back to the line of scrimmage and getting 3 or 4 yards extra.
Charlie Sam had a shot at him, not able to bring him down. And then the pursuit finally catches up. 3rd and 7 from the 28. Carlson has running room. Goes for the first down marker. He's going to be very close as he's rolled out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. And we'll have to wait for the spot to see if Stephen Carlson. I keep wanting to call him Jody Carlson. I remember the Carlson that was a quarterback for Baylor some years ago. Cody Carlson was a quarterback there, huh?
Sure was. I don't think Stephen's quite ready for the college level yet, but maybe in a few years he might be.
Well, Steve has kind of given a spark to his Rams here as they are indeed able to pick up the first down at the Carencro 15-yard line.
Acadiana getting a little leadership from 2 sophomores.
11:09 to go in the ball game. 21-0 our score. Carencro bootleg again. Carlson under pressure, puts it down and decides to run with it. And a flag on the play.
Usually a clip in this type of situation, Mike.
Well, I tell you, holding is the initial call. So a clip or a hold, either one. And it looks like it's going to go against Acadiana. I tell you, Acadiana has tried, you see on replay, they tried the bootleg in the misdirection, but Carencro doing a good job. There's the clip right there, 84.
Tuck that ball, Carlson.
Chad Gary was nailed from behind. But I tell you, he has been harassed every time they've tried to run the bootleg. He just simply hasn't had time to get out in the open and find a receiver.
Seems like right when they start to get things going, Acadiana has some type of a turnover or some type of penalty. It's very hard for them to get things started and get the momentum turned their way.
Well, this one's going to really hurt. Rather than 1st and 10 from the 15, it's going to be 1st and 17 from the 24. Well, 1st and 19 from the 24. The penalty, of course, from the point of the infraction rather than the line of scrimmage.
Acadiana needs to just take their time and chip away and try and get the first down again and get to scoring position.
Sprint out by Carlson, gets rid of it. and complete. A terrific throw and catch.
Took a chance there, throwing it with a defender that close and that far between him and the receiver. Passing that ball, that's going to learn with experience. You just need to turn that one up and run it.
I tell you what's impressive. He does this on the run, too.
Yeah, a little sprint out pass. He's a good athlete. Gets his shoulders parallel and puts the ball in. Good throw by Carlson. Very chancy, but good
Terrence
throw.
Blackwell on the receiving end. Pitch back for Robinson. Has momentary running room as Robinson tries to get to the corner on the near side. Hauled down from behind by Charlie Sam, and a late flag now being thrown in the middle of the field.
These two sophomores are really doing a good job of trying to turn this thing around for Acadiana.
Well, I tell you, Carlson 3 for 3, 37 yards in the air in the second half. Referee's talking it over. That was a late flag, maybe for an unsportsmanlike conduct or something. Let's wait for the call, but if it is against Carencro, it would only go half the distance. Personal foul against Carencro. So you don't want to second guess, but my guess would be when the play went to the near side of the field, somebody got in a cheap shot there in the middle of the line. What do you think, Les?
Sounds like a good opinion to me. I didn't see it. I was watching the ball carrier.
Well, same here, but where the flag was dropped was back on the weak side, and this referee crew very alert and on it. So a break goes Acadiana's way for once, and this is going to push the ball half the distance to goal, all the way down to the 5-yard line, and this is the best scoring opportunity of the night for Acadiana.
Acadiana doing a good job of moving the ball. They should have scored about 2 or 3 minutes ago, but they unfortunately had a few penalties and a few setbacks.
Clock moving, just over 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Carlson on the move to the far side, lets it fly. Overthrown, intended for Terrence Blackwell on the sprint out once again.
Good job by Carlson getting rid of the football and overthrowing him. The wide receiver was well covered by the defensive back, Jason Babineau. So he just overthrows the football. That was a good decision by Carlson.
We'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 5. And you got to wonder if maybe Corey Robinson might not get the call on a quick pitch. He's been very effective on this drive for Acadiana.
They haven't taken the ball up the middle recently. They may want to hand it off up the middle and fake the options. That might open it up for them.
Of course, Carencro's defensive line has had a lot to do with that.
Looks like they're overloading them on the outside.
Well, the pitch was to the near side, but Carencro was having nothing to do with that as Corey Robinson was greeted rudely. Jonah Cormier and Charlie Sam led the charge for Carencro. You get a look at a crowd, a capacity crowd here tonight for this important District 4 5A game. 3rd and goal for Acadiana. Steve Carlson has his instructions from the sideline. Corey Robinson will check out. Eric Prudhomme, Craig Stoops are the setbacks.
He's open.
Oh, intended for Blackwell and just out of reach.
It's a good job. A good job by Carlson of getting the ball out there, not allowing the defender to get close to it. Just a little bit time. The timing is off just a little.
Well, 4th down. You're down 3 touchdowns with 9 minutes to go in the game. There's going to be a timeout called by the referees, but you almost got to bet that you got to go for it. There's no decision to be made here.
That was a good call by Coach Dodson. He knew he had one-on-one by the defensive backs on the wide receivers, and it was just a matter of him getting open.
A brief referee timeout as Jonah Cormier came to the sideline, maybe for an equipment problem. And now Carencro is going to call a timeout so they can get all their troops on the field. Well, there's a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout. Our score, Carencro 21, Acadiana nothing. Mike Roebuck and Les Luquette with you live at Carencro Golden Bear Stadium. 4th down and goal from the 5 for the Wrecking Rams. 21-0, Carencro leading. And this last gasp for Acadiana.
There it is.
Slanted passes. Incomplete, but a flag on the play. A flag on the play. It appears there may be defensive interference on the pass. Let's wait for the call. Greg Gautreau, the backfield judge, right there. And it is an interference call. And I'll have to wait and see. I don't recall. Here's another look, Les, but sure appeared like there was contact all the way on the slant route. I'd say a good call.
Looked like the ball was thrown a little bit behind him. He was wide open for the reception. If the ball would have been thrown in the front of him, it would have been 6.
Well, Blackwell, the intended receiver, had a man all over him. You get one more look at it from the end zone.
Here it is, just a little 3-step drop for a slant route by the wide receiver, one-on-one. And looks like the ball was thrown a little bit behind him.
Interference to call carries with it an automatic 1st down.
Can't really tell if
now from the 4-yard line. Carlson,
touchdown.
Belly play, up the middle, and a touchdown for Acadiana. You're right. I couldn't see it. You dug it out quick with those young eyes. 21, Craig Stooks punches it in on one of the few successful running plays of the night for Acadiana. And 9:03 to go in the game.
Well, this is a bad time for the momentum to change at the end of the game. Got 9 minutes left. That's a lot of time for Acadiana to put a few more scores up there on the board.
Give Carlson credit. It took him a while to do it, but he drove his team 58 yards from their own 42-yard line.
Carlson doing a good job of coming out and showing a lot of confidence in driving this football team down to a score.
21-7 our score. We'll be back in just a moment.
There it is, Southwest Conference football tomorrow. Houston Cougars and the Texas Longhorns. It'll be a good matchup here tomorrow at noon. So y'all tune in to K62. Here's the kickoff, Mike.
Well, it's a short punch kick. And downed immediately. 34, Chad Comeaux.
I don't know if he was coached to do that, Mike, but he caught the ball and got down. He must have heard footsteps and saw a few defenders coming after him.
84, Chad Gary, and I was surprised he didn't signal for the fair catch.
Well, he was scared to death. That's why he caught the ball and hit the ground.
Well, kind of an unusual attempt at onside by Acadiana. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Golden Bears at their own 37-yard line.
Acadiana needs to come around defensively again and hold the Carencro Bears.
Well, Acadiana needs a turnover or a big play somewhere on defense.
Coming up for the blitz.
The pitch back is to Beavers. He cuts inside, has running room, and it's bounced out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play.
Acadiana defensively is definitely showing an improvement of getting to the football a lot quicker. Earlier in the game, Beavers would have broken in for about 30 or 40 yards.
Scoring drive for Acadiana, 11 plays, 58 yards, 4 minutes, 47 seconds. Craig Stoots with a 3-yard touchdown run. We stand at 21-7, Carencro leading with 8:51 to go in the ball game. I don't know, Les. I think I would put an 8-man line up there and just dare Carencro to pass. They haven't shown really over the whole season they can throw the football, and you got to stuff the run at this point.
Yeah, but you don't want to take any chances on a big play either, because this game's still intact for Acadiana. They still have a chance at winning this football game.
Anthony Benoit and Ramel Lawrence there to stop Kevin Falk as the linebackers are shooting against everybody. Essentially an 8-man blitz.
Yeah, they're going to still respect the passing game of Carencro here. They're not going to try and do anything like lining up 8 or 9 people on the line of scrimmage.
Well, that would be what I would do, but you know, I'm a gambler. 3rd and 3 from their own 45-yard line. Big play for Acadiana. Carencro 1st down would really hamper their efforts at a comeback.
Usually run a little draw to Lazard here when they line up in this formation.
Here come the linebackers. And Lazard is going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. There's great timing on the part of Acadiana's linebackers. They were in the backfield waiting for Mr. Lazard when he got the football. You had the call right, Les. It was the draw play.
That's what happens when you start to get predictable. The defense is going to start to catch on into what they're running and the certain formations that they're lining up in. Acadiana's doing a good job of recognizing that. They stopped Lazard there, didn't allow him to get the first down. Now Carencro has to punt it away, and Acadiana has the ball. Well, a chance to score.
4th and 2. I'm almost surprised that Mac Barus doesn't attempt a field goal here.
It would be a world record.
Would only be a 68-yard attempt. Instead, Wade Ritchie will come on to punt, and now Carencro takes too long. It's going to be another 5 yards of field position, as delay of game is undoubtedly going to be the call, and it is. So
looks like Carencro's starting to get a little lackadaisical towards the end of the game here. It may be costly to them. They need to get the play off and get to the line of scrimmage and get this thing going. They're resting too much. Maybe they're a little overconfident. And they might not be too smart with this much time left in the game.
John George and Brandon Francis standing at their own 25 to receive the punt. It's a low liner. Takes a Carencro bounce and will go dead at about the 24-yard line. So not the prettiest of kicks by Wade Ritchie, but effective. Acadiana is going to have to go 76 yards to score again. 7:01 to go in the game. Not impossible. Lots of time left.
Well, the momentum's on Acadiana's side right now. They've been moving the football. They've been doing a great job defensively. There's a picture of Coach Dotson and Scott McCullough, the baseball coach, the assistant, the offensive coordinator for Coach Dotson. I look for Acadiana to put another drive on, another scoring drive.
Well, here's Carlson with a pitch back to Robinson. Tries to reverse his field. Ill-advised as Robinson went down at his own 19. He'll lose 5 yards on the play. 77 Joe Bello right there having none of that. 6'1", 285 pounds. And he is awfully quick for a man that big.
Good pursuit by Acadiana's defense that time on stopping Robinson. They didn't respect the bootleg for Carlson though, so you may be looking at a little bootleg, a little sprint out pass or something.
Well, they'll pitch again to Robinson.
Throwback.
Now he wants to throw a left-handed throw. Oh! He's got John George. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Acadiana, but there's a flag on the play. Against, but Acadiana did pull the trick play. I think this one's gonna come back. Mike Hill is waving everybody back. Illegal participation, illegal receiver downfield. Take a look from our end zone.
Here it is, a little pitch to the left and a little fullback pass. I'm trying to see who was downfield. Look right here, 77 was downfield, too many yards downfield, so that made the play come back.
Well, somehow John George had slipped in behind Charlie Sam, and 77, Kenneth Johnson, went out to make the block for Robinson, and it looks like he just got up off his block and went downfield to cover on the pass a little too soon. But illegal receiver downfield.
Tough break for Acadiana.
Ineligible lineman downfield is the call. And that would have really changed the complexion of this game because it would have been 21-14 with 6 minutes to go, and that makes a ball game.
Like I said, Acadiana still has momentum on their side. Just a little tough break here. I look for them to get things going. They've definitely broken Carencro's concentration. So Carencro's starting to think twice about their confidence right now. And this is a time for them to break them again.
Bill Dotson just beside himself. With the penalty, it's now 2nd down and 23 for the Rams. Carlson will sprint right.
There it is. It's open.
Throw long, and he's got a man behind again.
Little underthrown by Carlson.
I tell you what, I don't know why or how. 84 Carencro, Chad Gary broke it up. but Acadiana had 2 receivers behind the secondary.
Yeah, just a little underthrown by Carlson.
Steve Carlson could have laid that one up a little more. That was another 6 points for Acadiana.
Sure was. Here it is, a little sprint out to the right, and free safety does a good job of going over there towards the football, and he left 13 wide open. If Carlson would have just looked off the defensive back a little bit, it would have been 6 points.
Terrence Blackwell and Curtis Graves both back there, and now 3rd down and 23. Carlson will hand off to Robinson. There's an interesting call with 3rd and 23 from your own 10. Robinson's explosive, but is he 33 yards worth of explosive? 33 is his number. 3 is about what he got.
Well, with 4th and about 25, 30 yards to go, you probably thinking Carencro is going to line up in a prevent defense, putting their defensive backs an extra 10 yards back, so you don't want to allow them to get the first down. That's why they ran the little draw play to Robinson up the middle.
Now Robinson will stand at his own goal line. Kevin Falk to receive it is at the 41. The punt is a pretty good one, as it takes an Acadiana bounce. Will roll all the way down to the 31. A 59-yard punt by Corey Robinson.
Got a good roll for Acadiana. Acadiana needs to hold them here again if they want to get another chance to score.
5 minutes to go, 21-7 our score in the 4th quarter at Carencro Golden Bear Stadium. Mike Roebuck and Les Luquette. This one's been a dandy, and really Les saved the poor field position that gave Carencro an easy score, as they only had to go 22 yards into the end zone early in the 3rd quarter. This one's been dead even in the 2nd half, and Acadiana almost had the big play to bring themselves back to within 1 touchdown.
Acadiana did a good job of staying in this ball game.
Beavers off the right side looking for running room, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. Spin move, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 38-yard line.
Good job of extra effort by Beavers.
Beavers not quite enough for the first down.
5'7", 180-pound senior, runs about a 4.4 in the 40. He has good moves, cuts on the football, cuts on the dime. Here it is, just a little sweep to the right side. Does a good job of following his blockers. Definitely a college prospect, Mike, in my opinion.
Well, you see, he put a little fake on the cornerback there to slip out for a couple more.
A little spin move there. He's a player.
Well, you got a feel for Acadiana. They got the trick play, the big play to bring it to 21-14, or so they thought, but a flag brought it back. Kevin Falk wants to unload. As a receiver, deep was Jason Batiste, and Falk just simply overthrew him as Acadiana gambling everybody up to stop the run.
Yeah, he was open for a second there, Mike. Just a matter of laying the ball up and letting the receiver run under it. Throws it maybe a little bit too soon, but he was open.
Well, the clock stops with 4:50 to go in the game. 3rd down and a long 3 for Carencro at their own 39. Acadiana's defense much improved here in the 2nd half, as they have answered the challenge.
Should be Lazard up the middle.
It is. Lazard cuts back, gets a block, has running room, and bounced out of bounds to 41 of Acadiana, as Ernest Lazard will pick up the 1st down and more.
Acadiana only has 4 or 5 plays. I don't understand. I mean, Carencro only has been running 4 or 5 plays. I don't understand why they haven't been able to start recognizing it.
Well, you see the nice cutback by Lazard as the pursuit went to the right. First and 10 from the 41.
Real excitement by the MC over here at Carencro Stadium, Mr. Murray Conks.
Murray firing up the crowd with 4:42 to go. Falk wants to throw.
Good job.
Incomplete, intended for Chad Arno.
Cy Green came up and put the lick on it.
Cy Green's played quite a ball game as Kevin Falk's woes continue in the passing department, 0 for 5. And you got to wonder what kind of adjustments are being made on the sidelines.
You cut that out right there. I hope she's going to be embarrassed when she watches this tomorrow morning.
4:39 to go in the game.
Okay.
Falk to throw, pump fake, takes it down, wants to run it, runs into his own blocker and then into the wall of defenders for Acadiana. As 72, Tyrone Simone had the inside penetration. And Jermel Lawrence right there to drop Kevin Falk. That's two big men right in the middle. 72, Tyrone Simone, 6'3", 275. Number 74, Jermel Lawrence, 6'1", 260. Hard to see how anybody could run up the middle against those two.
Jeez, the size of these two teams is unbelievable.
There's a lot of college teams, including the Cajuns, but they would like some of that size.
Definitely needed, too.
Cajuns have had their woes this year, with just 2 wins on the season. Now flags fly. And it's going to be a delay of game as Carencro took too long to get the play in. Carencro coaching staff complaining that the bag judge didn't throw his fist up. What you're supposed to do with 10 seconds to go is put a fist up for the quarterback to know that he's got under 10 seconds to get the play off. Carencro's coaching staff complained early in the week that turnovers and penalties were keeping their offense out of sync. They've got 7 penalties for 45 yards now. They've averaged 73 yards in penalties per game. Falk with a sprint out, now sprinting backwards. Got running room.
Ooh, what a move.
Dodges a tackle, still on his feet, and a first down and out of bounds to the 28. Woo. How do you like that? Kevin Falk retreated all the way to his own 35 and made it to the Acadiana 28-yard line.
It's going to be called back. This is a great move by Falk. You got to watch this run, Mike. He fakes a sprint out right and turns it back left. And here he's got wide open field to run. He just fakes out number 30 right there. Gets around him, doesn't even hardly even gets a hand on him. Cuts it back inside and finally gets the pursuit, catches up with him.
Well, it's going to be brought back as there was a flag on the play. Undoubtedly a clip or a holding penalty. They're going to say a clip as Falk made his move to come back. Maybe we get one more look where you can pick that up, but as he spun back to the left side, it appeared that 72 Tyrone Simone was chopped from behind. Boy, Falk's really got some quick acceleration. He sprinted about 50 yards in no time flat. 3rd down and 42. Well, I tell you, Acadiana sure would like to have that halfback pass back, because if it were 21-14 right now with 3:40 to go, you'd have to like your chances. Still not over, 3:40 to go. The defense can hold here. Acadiana's going to get the football back. They'll need to score quickly and then an onside kick. I have seen stranger things happen.
It's still possible here, Mike.
Mac Barrios having an extended conversation with Mike Hill, the referee. Kevin Falk over there also, wanting some clarification about the call. Apparently the clip was very, very deep as Falk began to make his turn back upfield. Because 3rd and 42 is a long way. What do you do now? Quick kick with Wade Ritchie and let your defense do the work for you?
Sounds like a good call to me, Mike. You and I may need to go into coaching together.
Well, I'll tell you, if we can make all the calls as well down there as we do up here.
Especially when they make those major adjustments on the sideline.
That's it. Well, I like to catch those adjustments. That's what makes high school football exciting. 3rd and 42, and Kevin Falk has his marching orders as he's back. There's the Carencro cheerleaders with the Golden Bear mascot and I guess the Pooh Bear next to him. The little one.
The Pooh Bear.
.340 remains in the game, 21-7 our score. Carencro has led throughout as they were dominating in the first half on the ground. Acadiana made some nice adjustments, and it's been a 7-7 ball game in the second half. Unfortunately for Acadiana, they still trail by 14. 3rd and 42. A lot of folks up front for Carencro. Draw play to Lazard. He'll pick up about 8 on the carry and be bounced down at his own 34-yard line. So the punting unit will take over for Carencro, and Acadiana's defense has held. But now the clock may be the worst enemy of Acadiana as it's moving with 3:20 to go in the game.
Acadiana's going to need to try and score as soon as they can. They're going to probably have to go for a couple of chance plays, maybe a reverse or some type of long, deep pass route.
Well, according to my stats, Acadiana still has all 3 timeouts available to them in the second half.
Oh.
They went for the block, had an opportunity, not able to get there, and the kick is a good one. It's fumbled by Robinson and escorted on out of bounds. So Acadiana's going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 31.
About a 42-yard punt with great hang time. That was a great punt by Ritchie.
Well, Wade Ritchie's had a couple of unimpressive efforts earlier, but that one right there, more than enough to get the job done. You get a second look. Robinson here is going to try to pick it up, and oh, one of the coaches took it right there.
A cheap shot to the knees.
Who says it's not a contact sport on the sidelines? Carlson, quick hitch, tipped around, up for grabs.
Intercepted. No.
Incomplete.
Almost intercepted by Carencro.
Looked like Carencro was going to come up with it as 4 of Golden Bears had an opportunity at it.
Seems like they were hollering Oscar too quick. They get a hand on it right there, tips it up. Comeaux can't come up with it. He finally tips it up again, and it's incomplete.
Jason Babineau got a hand on it. Comeaux got a hand on it. Looked like everybody had a shot at it. 2nd and 10 with the ball exactly on the 30-yard line for Acadiana. They need to go 70 yards quickly. 2:46 remain. Straight drop back by Carlson, intended for Blackwell, and he was hit early. And the flags fly. Blackwell complains, but no problem, Terrence. There are flags on the play. So that's going to be 15 and an automatic first, and that's a good way to move the football, Les, without the clock moving.
Yeah, that was a poor decision by 15, Chris Gaines. He should have just let it go. It was out of play. He had no chance of catching that football. Just got to let that one go.
Actually, it looked like Jonah Cormier and Charlie Sam over there on the left side. So the 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down for Acadiana moves it out to the 45. And I tell you what, I'd take that every time I was the Acadiana coaching staff. That'll get you down the field in a hurry.
Acadiana came out throwing the football. That's the quickest way to move it. So they're going to probably keep it in the air.
Movement on the line. And now 89 for Carencro has made a big mistake. He stepped over and tapped. He stepped over and tapped the left tackle. The left tackle for Acadiana did flinch. But when Carencro's defensive player stepped over and tapped him on the helmet, he left the referee no choice but to throw a flag. And it's just a matter of who did they see first. They saw Carencro. They did not see the Acadiana tackle. It really wasn't as much of a movement or motion as it was a flinch of the knees by the left tackle of Acadiana. But there was no choice when Carencro 89, Nick Alamon, reached over and tapped the man on the head. You know, if the referee had no choice, he had to throw a flag.
Yeah, he had to throw a flag then.
In fact, I don't know about you, but I was coached to take the free shot. If you're going to go, right?
That's right.
No love taps. Hit him. Quick pitch back for Robinson. Right side, running room.
Get out of bounds.
Pulled out of bounds, and it does stop the clock. At the 44-yard line, 2:35 remains. As Robinson picks up the first down for Acadiana.
Well, Acadiana's got a lot to work with, Mike. They have 2 sophomores, the quarterback, Stephen Carlson, and the running back. They're doing a good job of moving the football and showing a lot of confidence against these upperclassmen.
Well, Robinson apparently got out of bounds with 2:35 remaining. Acadiana on the move. Robinson, halfback pass long, intended for George and intercepted. Intercepted by Jonah Cormier as they went back to the halfback pass, and John George opened momentarily. A little bumping and pushing for position going on, but I thought that was a good no call by the referee.
Yeah, that was a good call by the referee. He's just, the only problem he has here is he shows pass too soon. He needs to turn that ball upfield like he's running the football and then throw it. He didn't fool anyone on this play.
Looked like George came back to the inside and got fooled by where the football was. It was actually more to his left shoulder outside. If he'd have stayed on his route, he might have had a better shot at catching the football over Cormier.
Yeah, that's a play that you only want to use once a game. Maybe the throwback to the quarterback would have been a better decision, but...
well, actually, when it unfolded, I thought that's where he was going to go.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to do also.
It might have been a read option where, if he's got an opportunity to throw deep, he can. Well, Kevin Falk will fake the dive on a broken play, keep it himself, and run for 2 or 3 yards off the left side, but... unless Acadiana can come up with a turnover, they've got to consider to start using some of those timeouts. Clock moving with 2:10 to go, and Acadiana trailing 21-7 here in the fourth quarter. This game has been a very even contest, as you might expect, between two teams, District 4 5A. A lot of talent, a lot of meat, a lot of beef out there. Some big linemen. Both teams came into tonight 6-1 on the year, 2-0 in district. Carencro ranked 3rd in the state and showing why.
Oh,
hit for Beaver. The football is loose, but Kevin Falk is able to fall on it. And I tell you, Falk just turned around and pitched it too hard back for Beavers. He wasn't expecting that.
It looks like some type of broken play. If Beavers wasn't expecting the pitch and expecting the handoff or what. But I don't understand what happened on this play. Here
now you get another look at it.
He turns around. Looks like maybe Beavers was expecting the handoff. He saw Falk go to the ground like maybe he had a fumble or something and wasn't expecting the pitch back so soon.
Well, Acadiana almost came up with a turnover that would have put them right back in this ball game. With the fumble and the loss on the play, it'll now be 3rd and 14 from the 14, and Acadiana spends a timeout with 1:32 remaining. A stop here, and you almost got to go for the block or set up and hope for a dynamic punt return.
Yeah, you have to go for the block here.
The way Wade Ritchie punts the ball with that kind of hang time, realistically a return is not.
If he hits one with his strong leg, if he hits one, it's going to put you out of position and make another score. So you definitely have to go for the block here, even if it's going to cost a roughing the kicker or some type of running into the kicker or something. But then again, you may want to set up the return.
Well, I'm just thinking, if you set up the return, though, Ritchie hangs the ball so high.
Yeah, it allows
the coverage will be there.
Right.
Hard to get a return off with the hang time when Ritchie's able to put on the football. 3rd and 14. Double wide out for Falk. Double setbacks for Lazard and Beavers. Crossbuck goes to Beavers. And Beavers will be dropped after a pickup of 4 on the play.
Big hit by Anthony Benoit.
Anthony Benoit right there, and Acadiana spends another timeout. So the second of those 3 timeouts for Acadiana. And now with 4th and 10, and Carencro will undoubtedly have to punt it away. 1:22 to go in the game. This would be an incredible comeback where Acadiana able to punch it in twice. Of course, being a district game, all they've really got to do is tie it, and then you got an opportunity in overtime.
You're right.
And I know you really like to see an overtime game before this season is over.
Definitely. I don't know if it would be this week or the next, not next week or the next, but I'd like to see one.
Well, the last time that we were at Carencro a year ago, we did indeed have an overtime game between Lafayette and Carencro. A thriller that came down to a pass in and out of the hands of the tight end that would have kept overtime alive as Carencro defeated Lafayette 21-14 last year. And here we are at 21-7. Acadiana trailing, desperately needing the football. They have 2 men deep to receive, so maybe a little trick play in the offing for Bill Dodson.
Well, last time Wade Ritchie tried to kick away from the receiver, and that allowed him to get bad field position. So this time they're going to put 2 of them back there, maybe cover a little bit more of the field.
John George and
what a
Cy
bummer.
Green as Wade Ritchie uncorked his best kick of the night. Cy Green might want to pick it up and run it. Too late now, but my goodness. Ritchie outkicked the coverage and everyone else, and Cy Green let it go, but he could have picked it up and gotten 20 yards of field position back.
Close to a 60-yard punt. With great hang time.
From their own, let's add it up, from the 20 all the way down to the 30, a 50-yard punt. I believe the ball was at the 14, right? That'd be about a 55-yarder or less.
Close.
Wade Ritchie doesn't make it as a field goal kicker, perhaps as a punter. Cy Green had
62-yarder.
Oh, he outkicked the coverage by 20 yards.
Jeez.
An amazing kick by Wade Ritchie to get it out of there. And now the Wrecking Rams will have to go.
I don't think the Scouts are going to like that at all.
74 yards for a touchdown. As Carlson will drop back to throw undoubtedly. Rolls to the near side under pressure and down. Joe Bello pinned his ears back and came for Stephen Carlson. Carlson really never had a prayer as Acadiana spins their last timeout with 57 seconds to go. And you get another look at the sack for Joe Bello.
Here it is, a sprint out left. Defensive backers of Carencro do a good job of covering, allowing the defensive line to get in and make the sack.
Well, I tell you, it seems like Joe Bello and Jonah Cormier and Chad Gary and some of the linebackers for Carencro might as well have been in Acadiana's offensive huddle because they seem to know where the play is going and what part of the backfield to be waiting.
They're doing a good job of reading and getting to the football and not allowing Acadiana to really get anything started. Coach Dotson and Coach McCullough look very frustrated right now. Not looking too exciting for them.
Of course, they knocked Andy Stelly out in the first half as Joe Bello laid the lick. He returned for 3 plays, but not able to stay. There's Mac Barus, head coach of Carencro. Carlson's throw is intended for Blackwell, too high, incomplete. And 3rd down and 17 coming for the Rams. Once again, I want to thank Mac Barus and all of his staff for all their cooperation. Murray Conk, the public address man up here, providing the programs and the information, the stats. Really appreciate that.
Acadiana does it.
Always a pleasure to be here at Carencro.
Carencro does a good job. A lot of food up here for us to eat, Mike. And we definitely like to eat.
52 seconds remaining, 21-7 our score. 3rd and 17 for the Rams. And Carlson back to throw under pressure. Flag on the play as Carlson gets rid of it while he's hauled down, and I think another flag will come for grounding. As Carlson was on his way and just threw it up for grabs. 25. Anthony Carmouche on the blitz, and Joe Bello also hot and heavy after Steve Carlson.
Doesn't look like Acadiana's doing a good job of keeping Carencro out of the backfield, and that's not allowing Carlson to have any time to do anything. He's dropping back, and he's already worried about getting hit and worried about getting sacked, so he's not able to concentrate on finding an open man.
Well, it's a double whammy. There's holding, which is the first call against Acadiana, and then Stephen Carlson is called for intentional grounding. So not only are they going to be penalized the 15 yards for holding, they'll be penalized for the intentional grounding and loss of down. So it'll be 4th down from the 3-yard line, and they need to get to the 39 for a first down. 4th down and 36 with 45 seconds to go in the game. 21-7 to score. And Corey Robinson on to punt. A high snap to Robinson would be a safety because his heels are right against the back of the end zone.
Yeah, He's a step a yard away from the back of the end zone. If he steps on that end zone and catches the football, it's a touchback.
Robinson's kick end over end. Takes an Acadiana bounce and is going to die at the 49-yard line.
Kill the ball.
32 seconds to go in the game, and all Carencro has to do is down it once because Acadiana has used all 3 timeouts. And rather than chance the safety or to give Carencro another touchdown, they wisely punted away.
I think the difference in this game was Carencro coming out and shocking Acadiana by running the reverse at the beginning, the kickoff, and faking the reverse on the first play from the line of scrimmage. That threw him off the whole game.
Set the tempo early.
That's right.
Falk takes a lick, but that probably will be enough to finish out the clock. We'll see. Under 20 seconds to go now, and Acadiana has no timeouts to stop the clock. Kevin took the snap and raised up the football. Probably, I don't know if it were me, I'd get back on one knee quickly, huh?
Yeah, I would too.
They're not even going to come out for another huddle, as that's the end of the ball game. The Carencro Golden Bears take a nice lead in District 4-5A with a victory over the Acadiana Rams. Our final score, Carencro 21, Acadiana 7. We'll be back with the post-game stats in just a moment. The 7-hour final, the Carencro Golden Bears victorious over the Acadiana Wrecking Rams. As they go to 3-0 in district, 7-1 on the year in District 4-5A. The Acadiana Rams dropped to 6-2, 2-1 in district. And Les, you mentioned it was just a matter of Carencro setting the tempo early, and Acadiana never really able to get into sync tonight.
Acadiana had a chance towards the end of the game, Mike, and they just had a few tough penalties that set them back and never allowed them to really get into the end zone to get this game close. I think you're right. Carencro did do a good job of coming out and setting the tempo early, and that threw Acadiana off for the rest of the game.
Carencro's domination on the ground, of course. The big story is 12 first downs to 8. 224 yards on the ground. Carencro still woeful in the passing attack, but with a 7-1 record, who cares? Acadiana only 140 yards rushing. A lot of that net yardage lost, and when the quarterbacks were under pressure, the defensive line for Carencro really lived in the backfield of Acadiana tonight. Just 37 yards passing. There you see the penalties. Carencro right on average, 10 for 80, but no turnovers tonight, as they've been averaging 3 turnovers. So Mac Bowrus will be happy that his team was able to cut back on the turnovers and put 21 points on the board. Still a lot of action left in District 4-5A, as Carencro still has to take on Lafayette and Northside. Meanwhile, Acadiana will visit New Iberia, and then in the final game of the season in District 1, which we will broadcast, Acadiana will take on Lafayette High in what might be the game to determine who finishes second place in the district. Our final score tonight, Carencro 21, Acadiana 7. For all of our crew and Les Luquette, I'm Mike Roebuck, reminding you tomorrow at noon, Southwest Conference football action. The Houston Cougars take on the Texas Longhorns. And then 2 weeks from tonight, we'll visit once again for the last game of the season, Lafayette High and Acadiana High, live from Wrecking Ram Stadium. 21-7, our final score. Once again, Carencro over Acadiana. Good night, everyone.